Ladies and gentlemen, we are now live here on the Around the Point Network YouTube channel. It is Tuesday, February the 11th, 2025, and this is another live edition of the Raw Rundown. Once again, here on the Around the Point Network YouTube channel. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below. Give this video a big old thumbs up and share it throughout your entire social media platform, wherever it is that you share wrestling content with all your wrestling friends and all that stuff. As always, I am Steve. I'm here joined by the good brother. He's rocking that one big SOB tank top. The one, the only Chase. Chase, from the looks of it, from where you're at, it's nice right now in California. It's nice. It's beautiful weather over here right now on the East Coast. We're about to get more snow.
Yeah, rain or shine, I'll always be supporting my one big son of a bitch any chance I get. And then, of course, the president of the United States, Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green. I got to support her, too. I got her shirt as well. But, guys, talk about the one big SOB. This is a shirt you're gonna be sick of seeing this shirt, but I'm gonna be wearing this shirt almost every fucking Around the Point episode.
Are you excited for his match coming up this Friday? I think this Friday is him, Jacob Fatu, and Damian Priest.
If he doesn't win, it's booking malpractice. I mean, he is the monster among men, and he's facing a Samoan werewolf who is an animal, and then he is facing Damian Priest, who is just a regular man. He is the monster among men. I understand if they don't put him in the Elimination Chamber. They're afraid of like the pop that Braun Strowman will get when he comes out. It'll be so massive in Toronto, Canada. They will be like, we got to throw Cena and Cody out the window. We got to throw Punk and Cody out the window. We got to give the main event of WrestleMania to Braun Strowman. So I understand they're really afraid of what the former Universal Champion can do if he gets in that position again. Because when this guy's over, he's red hot. No one can stop him.
I must ask this question now. Being that where we're at now, Chase, what was your favorite moment of WrestleMania 36?
Man, Braun Strowman dealing with depression. A lot of people don't like to admit when they have depression, but Braun Strowman, he was dealing with severe depression. And when Roman Reigns cowardly did not want to perform at WrestleMania 36, who stepped up? Braun Strowman stepped up, and he kicked Bill Goldberg's ass. He beat Bill Goldberg and won the Universal Championship. It had, quite frankly, one of the more underrated runs as Universal Champion. Had great feuds with The Miz and John Morrison, and then also he beat Oogly Boogly. How many people can say Oogly Boogly in a match? Like, not a lot of people can say they can handle what Oogly Boogly does to them. And my guy, he handled it pretty well. And if it wasn't for being distracted, by Oogly Boogly's bullshit, he would have still kept the Universal Championship. We talk about Roman Reigns' 1,316 day reign. Braun Strowman could have had that, but of course, Boogly was in the way, and Roman Reigns, he once again cowardly signed that contract last minute threat that made Oogly Boogly was champion at the time, but you get the idea. Braun Strowman would have won. It's absolutely ridiculous, and all this guy does is just come. He suffered injuries from both Bronson Reed and Jacob Fatu, but who's still showing up to work, punching in the ticket every day? My one big son of a bitch showing up every single day, man.
Absolutely. You know what? Right now, I know we just started the show, but I'm thirsty, bro. I'm thirsty right now, and
You're thirsty?
I know I do. I was gonna support a Celsius, but I don't support that brother right now. I'm gonna support the right brother. I'm gonna support, our homie, the Maverick. That's right. Well, I got a prime here. I got a prime. For those who are wondering, it's strawberry banana.
It really helped him in that main event. Oh,
indeed it did. Strawberry banana. 7-Eleven had a sale 2 for $5. And I jumped on the opportunity, and
wow, what a great sale!
The coconut water is really kicking in on this. I can tell.
So 1 to 10, what's strawberry banana?
I'm gonna say 7.5 going into 8.
Yeah, I when I drink Prime, my favorite flavor is Ice Pop. I think that's their best flavor. Like, if I do grab a Prime, if I'm like, you know what, I want to drink a Prime today, I normally drink Ice Pop. That's normally the flavor I go to.
Like, it's crazy because like most of like the retail stores, like 7-Eleven, what have you, they don't sell the energy drinks, the Energy Prime. They don't sell them anymore. I guess they got recalled, whatever the
Yeah,
case was.
they got recalled because there was a kid who drank like 3 of them in one day and then like had a heart issue or something. I don't know what happened, but apparently that's the story going around.
But my gym sells the freaking energy drinks. They still sell them. They,
They must have
no
not
one,
done the recall, or they don't care.
my gym is very. Let's put it this way. During the pandemic, they had wooden boards over the windows and let people go in. That's the kind of. But be that as it may, yes, I am supporting. Who is going to win the Elimination Chamber? Who will walk in through
If
all
Braun
adversity?
if Braun Strowman gets in the chamber, Steve, your boy don't have no chance.
You know what?
Who's stopping Braun Strowman?
It'll be those two. It'll be down to those two.
6'8".
It'll be down to those two. It'll be the greatest final two in chamber history. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. But
I don't think anything could top that.
Well, we'll see how this goes. Venom Hernandez, vitamin water all day. It's fine. Formula 50 was something I used to drink back in the day. I was asleep, and then I hear someone talking trash about my tribal chief, and I woke up like the Undertaker, one for life. Alan got a
facts. Yeah, but my dog Braun Strowman, he showed up when Roman Reigns called out.
That is true. There is evidence. There's footage of that. I remember at one point Chase would say there was no footage, but now all of a sudden there is footage. He found the footage. He finally saw the footage. He saw the light. But
yeah, I saw the light for the next 200 and some odd days that I had to support this guy.
Don't worry, Chase. The countdown is on. But vote in the chat, guys. We do have a poll in the chat. Did you enjoy Monday Night Raw? The February 10th edition of Monday Night Raw that was last night. Raw last night was live from the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, Tennessee. I believe this is like their 20-something time hosting a Raw in Nashville, according to Michael Cole. For the most part, the wrestling portion of the show was overall very good for the most part. I thought the show for me was a passable show. Considering again we're on the road to WrestleMania, and from the wrestling standpoint, they're getting what needs to be done to get you to watch the wrestling portion of it. Story wise, let's just be honest, they only pushed just one story, which is Jey Uso. He finally made his choice. Mm-hmm. They made you think, oh, you know what? He was going to think about it, right? Let it marinate for a bit. Cause that's kind of what you want to see from like a Rumble winner, right? Like him or her going to all the brands, right? Having these appearances here and there. And you would have thought, hey, we might get 1 more week or 2 more weeks of Jey going to SmackDown, going to Raw. But no. Jey Uso finally made his choice at the end of his segment of Monday Night Raw. That opened the show, by the way. But Chase, what was your overall thoughts on Monday Night Raw from last night?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. Matches were really good. Like I felt this was like probably one of the best in-ring episodes of Monday Night Raw. Like 2 really good women's matches. I felt the main event felt like a Raw main event. The tag team match was good until the ending. So I felt match-wise it killed it, but then the storylines were just all kind of weak. Like, there was just like the promo segments besides like the opening. Like they were all just kind of like, we got to do these promos. We got to hype up something. Punk's promo was good actually, but other than that, like the opening promo and the last promo for the main event, those were the only 2 like noteworthy promos. The rest of the promos were just kind of filler and fluff, and then building up stuff that I'm like, I'm not really interested in what they're going here.
Oh, of course. And that's fine as well. Venom writes here, WrestleMania 41 is going to be a weird yet interesting card.
I'm cool with it. I'm cool with that. I like when WWE look WrestleMania. I like that this WrestleMania kind of feels like it's going to be like you're going to get your mixture of matches that feel like they're WrestleMania worthy, and you're going to get a lot of wild card matches. I feel like the Manias where people are not really super excited about the card, those tend to be like the better Manias. Like look at 31. When you look at 31's card, that card was like, what the fuck is this? Like this card looks really bad. Like you ask most people going into 31, everyone's prediction for a match of the night was Orton and Rollins. Like no one had any faith Reigns and Lesnar was going to be good. No one had any faith that Cena and Rusev was going to be good. Triple H and Sting, a lot of people felt it like Sting. And keep in mind, this was not like Sting in his peak. This was Sting, like we were like debating, is he going to wear a t-shirt at WrestleMania, Sting? Because Sting on his last run in TNA was just wearing a t-shirt the whole time because he was so out of shape. So
long sleeve,
that
too.
card turned out really well. Long sleeve. So that's why I feel like 41, although the card may be something where most fans would scoff at, I think it could actually turn out really, really well in terms of execution.
Yeah, I think also 41 too. When you factor in now too, it's 2 nights, right? There's only gonna be that one night that's gonna top the other, right? So
Yeah.
one night could be just for the showcase, presentation, musical performance, and then night 2, either night, whatever path you want to go with, could be that night for the wrestling, the in-ring, like, oh my god, I can't believe this happened and shit like that. But let's get into this, guy. Let's get into this. Alan writes here, by the way. Raw was good live, like always, for me being in the building, but watching it back, it was okay. Oh, that's what's up, Alan. You were actually at Raw last night. That's awesome, bro. That's what's up. One of my classmates went to WrestleMania 31 that weekend. That's cool, brother. That's cool.
One of the horrible stadiums, Levi Stadium, Santa Clara, California. Ugh.
Is it really that bad? I mean, I never went, so
it's just bad location wise, trying to get out of it wise. It's not a fun stadium to go to. It's like a good outdoor stadium, but it's just not the best when it comes to, like if you're a fan going. Like it's not fun for if you're a fan. Like once you get in the venue, it's fine. But
for sure.
I'd much rather go to SoFi or Allegiant any day of the week. Like I feel like that like I learned from Nashville when I went to SummerSlam in Nashville. I will never do another outdoor wrestling event like that again because that shit like sucked, and I was just like, this stinks. Like it's not comfortable. Like SoFi, it's like people will say, isn't that kind of an outdoor stadium? It's hybrid, but there's at least a roof, and it's like it feels like you're indoors. That one just felt like it was outdoors, and it sucked, and my contacts were drying up, and there was like so much other factors that I didn't put into it. So I'm like, I'll never do like an outdoor show again. So, but like if you told me SummerSlam, I'll be like, nope, not going there. East Rutherford, New Jersey, outdoors, MetLife. That doesn't sound like a fun wrestling show to me. Indoors, inside Allegiant Stadium, sounds fun to me.
Well, hopefully, the state in a couple of years from now can invest on a roof or a remodel with the retractable roof, which I don't ever see happening, to be honest. Alan writes here, I don't think Jey versus Gunther will be one-on-one. I smell a favor fixing to be cashed in that. Oh, we're not doing this again. Oh, not the triple threat. Oh no, here we go. No,
you guys don't understand that this is the story they've been trying to tell of Jey and Gunther. They've been trying to tell this story since last year. It's going to be one-on-one. The question you should be having is it main eventing the show, or is it opening the show, or if it's going to be in the middle of the show and what night they're going to put that. That's the only questions you should be having about this match. Get used to it. You'll get your multi-man matches in the mid-card titles. You do not need a triple threat for this match. This match is fine story-wise enough to be a one-on-one world title match. So no, like I love people saying this is one of the weaker world title matches. I'm like, bro, did we not see Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger all those years ago? Like, come on, like Edge versus Del Rio. Like this is not bad. At least there's good history. There's something for Jey to overcome as a babyface. Gunther, like the only thing that's a complaint is that Gunther's title reign has been kind of mid or ass.
Yeah, near the end. It's like it's cool when it happened, and that now along the way, it's like, okay, you're champion, but it doesn't really like it does. They don't make it. They made it clear to everyone whose title matters the most, and that's Cody.
Yeah,
Cody's the A champion. Gunther is basically A2 at this point. and it made it obvious when Cody beat him in Saudi. But
Yeah.
be that as it may, the show did open up with Jey Uso, just like last week, right? And on SmackDown too, when he went through the crowd, he was eating it up, right? Obviously, they requested a repeat, run it back, right? Which has become the trend now, right? And I felt like it was very well received. Obviously, I feel like other city did it better. I mean, you're not topping France, but be that as it may, um, somewhere along the way, Gunther came out, attacked him, and just basically told him, "Hey, do not pick me." Because if you recall, last week Gunther came out and he just basically once again told Jey Uso, "Hey, no matter what you try, you can't beat me. So just do yourself a favor. Do not pick me at WrestleMania." But my thing is this, right? If he doesn't want him to pick him, why the fuck would he come out and attack him?
Yeah, I think Gunther, this is where like Gunther's psychological advantage that he has over most opponents doesn't work on Jey Uso. Jey Uso has been wanting to prove that he can beat Gunther, get the respect out of Gunther. Gunther, obviously, he looks at it as like, I beat you already. I don't want to wrestle you. WrestleMania is my chance to improve my legacy. I want to face someone that will do that. Jey Uso doesn't do that. And it was kind of weird for Gunther to be more of an aggressor to kind of like get Jey Uso to like remind, like it was like they were trying to set it up where it's like, remember Jey, if you choose Gunther, this is what you're going to face. But Jey Uso
Exactly.
wants to face that hurdle. Gunther should have came out and just interrupted the yeeting and saying, CJ, this is why it's like you shouldn't choose me because you're so beloved. And just think of WrestleMania, you and Cody coming out. You come out, the fans yeet. Cody comes out, the fans whoa. They're so excited that two of the greatest favorite wrestlers are going at it. And then I can have a WrestleMania moment beating John Cena, CM Punk, whoever wins the chamber. Jey, do this favor for me. And then we can wrestle later down. Like he should have done more of like trying to talk Jey.
Prolong the decision.
Yeah,
Prolong that.
prolong it, talk Jey out of it. Kind of just like and then if Gunther wants to attack, have it where he attacks Jey because he chose him. Because now Gunther's idea and dream of WrestleMania is now gone. Like his idea and dream was, I face a big name, I get a high profile win, I'm sure I'm one of the best of all time. But now he attacked Jey Uso, and it was just kind of like out of character for Gunther to do that and making it like you want Jey to have it where it's like, because now Elimination Chamber is just obvious winner goes face Cody, but I would have prolonged this till after Chamber where it's just kind of like, okay, so this person won, but their destiny's in Jay's hands, and Gunther for weeks has been doing a great argument of why Jey should do Cody, why Jey should choose Cody instead of him. Like, saying that this is for the fans, the people's main event, hype that up a little bit, get fans also interested in, like, yeah, Gunther brings up a good point. That sounds like a better match than him versus Gunther. But then ultimately, Jey says, as much as I like to face Cody, yeet, as much as I like to face my dog, yeet, I got unfinished with you, Boost, yeet, I need to beat you, yeet. You disrespect me, yee. You think I'm stupid, yee. You think that I can't beat you, yee. Well, I'm going to beat you, Oos, yee. I'm going to take that title, yee. And then also, I'm going to take that respect, yee. And then Gunther just rolls his eyes because he's like, dude, everything that I've been trying to do. And especially if you have Cena win the chamber, you can have it where Gunther, he's just like, yes, this is the match I want. I want John Cena. But instead, it's just like, okay, I don't know if it's WWE like just capitalizing that Jay's hot and they're just like, we got to announce something for Mania. We want more tickets to sell because tickets are still available for WrestleMania. They're expensive, but they're still available. And before the tickets kind of drop down in value via resale value, they want it where people are going to try to buy the tickets, announce a match, get the marketing material ready. I feel they kind of rushed this. I feel they could have waited, especially because Mania is in the middle of April this year. It's not like the start of April. Yeah, it's on Easter weekend. It's not like the start of April like Mania has been in years past. This is in the middle of April. So yeah, it's just one of those things where I just felt they could have taken their time building this up.
Yeah.
And I felt it was just out of character for Gunther. Like I like the attack and beatdown. It was just more of like, I would have loved Gunther, like, either Jackie or Kathy to try to catch up with Gunther later tonight. Why did you attack Jey Uso? Did you feel you get the response? And then at least Gunther justifies why he does it, but now we have to wait next week, and I don't feel like a week later makes a difference because Gunther's just going to act the same. He's going to be like, I didn't want to face him. I attacked him. Da 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 da. He explains his reasoning. It's like, it's kind of a weak reasoning, but it's the
Yeah.
match that I feel makes the most sense. Jay has a clear cut obstacle, and Gunther despises everything that Jay represents. It has a good dichotomy. It has good contrast between these two characters. I think and we saw Saturday night's main event with the teaser. Crowd's going to be into it. We know Gunther can get the most out of anyone. It's up to Jey
Yeah.
Uso to up his move repertoire until this time. That's why it's like, this could be an opening match at Mania instead. Have the fans start off really, really hot, get the fans getting with that big moment where Jey Uso becomes the world heavyweight champion, and stuff. But we'll have to wait and see. But it's the match that makes sense. But I wish they would
It
have
does.
prolonged it, make it where Gunther, instead of disrespecting Jay, tries to hype Jay up and choosing Cody. But ultimately, Jay says that he needs to beat Gunther to prove that he's better. Have it too, where like Roman Reigns actually interacts. Not Roman, but Jimmy, because he's injured. But have it where Jimmy interacts. He goes, "You really gonna go against Cody Oos? You really gonna go against him, the man who brought you to Monday Night Raw, the guy that helped you? Oos, Gunther playing with you. Gunther's doing what Roman did to you, Oos. Why would you fall for that? Why would you fall for that?" And then later on, it's like Jay starts thinking. He goes, "Yeah, Gunther, he's making all these good points, but ultimately, he's the guy I can't beat. I way he's pinned
He's
Roman
even being
Reigns.
Roman.
He, he
He's even
beat he beat Braun Breaker. Like every obstacle you put in Jey Uso's way, he has overcome. He overcome the biggest one. Can he even take the next step? He took the next step at he took the next
bro.
step at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
TJ Black, Gunther actually won the triple threat at 39, so he's not
Yeah, he
0
did.
2 at WrestleMania. He's 1 and 1
One and
as of
one. Yeah.
now.
Yes.
Tremendous match. Glad I saw that live.
But lucky you. Lucky you. A beautiful SoFi Stadium. Um,
Beautiful.
They should have made Jey Uso make the announcement at Elimination Chamber. They could have done that too. I mean, to be fair, you think if you look back, Cody, made his choice. It took him a while to make his choice, even though we knew he was going to choose Roman Reigns. Jay versus Gunther will probably be night 2 opener because Roman versus Seth, or if it's Charlotte versus Rhea, 3 will main event night 1. Cena versus Cody is night 2 main event. We don't even know. I mean, there's
Yeah.
so many ways to look at this, right? Because here's the thing too, right? Like, look, it's official, right? Obviously, when all the beatdown was over with, Jey Uso grabs the microphone, and he's again been power bombed, chopped, had his shirt ripped off, right? And he's like, I shouldn't say this, but you're gonna make me say this anyway. But I shouldn't say it. I choose you at WrestleMania, Gunther. I basically choose you. And the crowd goes crazy. Gunther runs back to the ring and gets attacked by Jey, and he does a dive, and just to make everyone go, get happy and all that stuff. But it's official. At WrestleMania, it will be Jey Uso versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. I love this graphic. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously it represents Vegas, right? Obviously, the golden card, that being Gunther being the champion, and all that stuff. I said this off the air. It looks like the TNT Sports in the UK probably did this graphic. I could tell by the lettering of the Saturday and Sunday. That's mostly their color scheme. But I love this. Beautiful fucking graphic. Very, very nice, I must say.
Yeah.
But again, it's also factor in, do you see the scenario where we go to Mania, obviously, and this match takes place and Jay doesn't win?
Yeah, that's a great possibility. Jay doesn't win. And stuff like, Jay. People have their complaints about Jay as a worker, and like then you got to look at it where it's like, do you feel Jay deserves a world heavyweight championship based off just a crowd reaction alone? That's what you have to debate with as well. Like, is Jay on that level where he? I think it'd be a good arc to end with Jey Uso reaching main event Jey Uso status. You give him a world title run. It doesn't have to be long. You can figure out who he loses to at maybe like one of the Saudi PLEs. I feel Gunther, it's more of like, okay, he's a great hurdle. He gets beaten by the babyface, and then he can move on and do other things. I don't know how he's going to move on after this world title loss. That's up to
Maybe
Triple H to
SmackDown.
figure out. Yeah, maybe he goes to SmackDown or something. Who knows? But the thing is with Jay, you know you're going to make a lot of merch off this. You know you're going to make a lot of money off of him. But it's something that he can be elevated to another level where it's like, hey, you know, like now this guy is a world champion. He can wrestle with other guys and hopefully get them to that world championship level or make them feel like they're world title contenders. Because when you look at the WWE roster, not a lot of guys have that former world champion tag added to them anymore. Like a lot of the guys, especially coming up, they still haven't won a title. So Jay, you know, going on, becoming a Triple Crown champion, becoming the world heavyweight champion, cementing himself. And then also, if you look at the character arc, started in like 2021 all the way to 2025, you reward the fans that have been watching for that long. Like I can tell the people who haven't been watching or that hate this when it's like they don't understand this has been going on since 2021, Jey Uso's rise and ascent and stuff.
2020.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, because that's when Roman came back, and then they did the whole Roman versus Jay. Like I can tell those fans, they're just hating to get their Elon Musk paycheck on X, or they're just trying to, you know, create the engagement bait that people react to. This right here is just like, hey, you know, like if you've been watching since 2021, it's like Jey Uso has been a main character in WWE for that quite time. He's always been the centerpiece of the bloodline. Like there was even debates when people were talking about Cody needs to beat Roman. There was debates. People were saying Jey Uso should be the one to dethrone Roman for all the BS that Roman Reigns has put him to. So like like it's like people are now just like it's just because like with Jay, it's hard nowadays, especially in modern wrestling, to see someone past a certain level of a glass ceiling, because a lot of the wrestlers that are good now perform such high octane in ring, so good in the ring. People just view Jey Uso still as a tag team guy, and I always have said, like, hey, look, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels started off tag team guys. Okay, those are bad comparisons to Jey Uso. They're actually good in ring workers. What about Jeff Hardy? Jeff Hardy was not some good in ring worker. Like I'm not going to sit here and argue with anyone that thinks Jeff Hardy
But he
was
got a
ever fucking
reaction.
good in the ring.
He
Like
got a but he
Jeff
was a good
Hardy,
reaction.
yeah, he got a reaction. Yeah, he got a reaction. Fans liked him. They thought he was great. But in ring, it wasn't like Jeff Hardy blew the world off on fire. Like he was just fine. Like Jeff Hardy was just fine at that. Jay, he has a good start to the match. He has a good ending. He just needs to find a few moves or something in the middle, a rest hold, something to add to what could be him being a passable main event level wrestler. I'm not saying a world beater. I'm not saying he's going to be on Cody or Seth's level when it comes to the WWE style. But I'm
Oh, for
saying,
sure.
like, if he just adds that, he'll be fine enough where it's like, okay, you're not going to be pissed that Jay's in the main event. But a lot of fans just can't seem to get past it. But Jay is like super hot and super over. I'm fine if they put the title on Jey Uso because, hey, like making more world champions and seeing a character arc extend, that's hard to do. It's hard to do when you focus on a character for years and they actually see a payoff, and especially us as fans that have been watching since 2021 see a payoff. I like look, if you've been stop and go and you haven't been paying attention, that's on you, and that's where you have to go back and you have to watch it. I hear a lot of wrestling fans tell me, do your research, Google it, do that. Okay, if you don't like Jey Uso being the main event and you just say that he's a tag team jobber, please go back. Because if you're going to do
Correct me
that to
if
me,
I'm
because I
wrong
because
here,
I because
but
I ask a question about who's this said wrestler, you should do the same thing when you're making your argument about Jey Uso.
now real quick, by any chance, do the WWE Vault channel, they have already like the bloodline storyline, right? Already like the
WWE has it on their YouTube Bloodline playlist, the playlist of the rise of Jey
exactly.
Uso.
The,
They
the
have
bloodline,
this.
yes.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just saying the people that hate on this because they just see Jay as just some mid Carter with an entrance, and that's why he's getting the spot at WrestleMania. It's like, no, this guy literally has been one of the main fucking characters for WWE. Now, has he been booked correctly the whole time? No. I'm not going to sit here and act like his booking has been correct, been good. But what I am going to tell you is that he's been a main character for WWE television since 2021. He has been a focal point character. He has been a driver. It's one of those things. A lot of people just that don't watch WWE on a regular basis. They don't see that. They just still see him as it. Like, look. If you don't want Jey to win because you personally just think he will sink as world champion, that is totally fine. But if you're someone that is just hating on this because Jey is not the worker you want, and you say that it makes no sense, then you haven't been watching, and that's on you. If I get called out because I ask which wrestler is this, can you guys tell me? And I'm told to Google it, you need to Google what you need to do as well. That's when it comes to Jey Uso. But Jey being in the main event is fine. It's not the end of the world. Like I said, there's been many tag team wrestlers that have broken out to be main eventers, and it's honestly a successful formula. So I have no issue with it. I have no issue if Jey becomes world champion. I think it's going to be absolutely rewarded for him to become the world champion. I mean, how Eddie Guerrero was also a tag team wrestler at one point in time in his career. Benoit was a tag team wrestler at one point in time in his career. Like, some people just need to sometimes I get it. It's like, especially if you hate WWE, this is hilarious to you because Jey Uso is not that good in the ring. But sometimes in-ring work is not always the thing sometimes when it comes to in-ring work, it's important. I'm not saying it's not important, but it's not the end-all be-all when it comes to creating a superstar. Sometimes your superstar, as long as he connects with the crowd, that's all that matters. Them and the crowd. Because you can hide bad in-ring work with crowd connection.
Exactly. Especially in TV wrestling, like you said, you can hide the fact that said wrestler may not be good in the ring, but again, promo wise, can he get a reaction? But more importantly, in Jey's case, can he move merch? Which obviously he is. So it's going to be crazy to see how they play all this out. Like we said earlier, I wish they would have prolonged his decision. You know what I mean? But this is what they're doing now, and let's see how they get to WrestleMania. I'm not the biggest fan of Jey Uso, this is from Chief, by the way, but I look at it from a business standpoint. It just makes sense. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, it does. Yeah. You're capitalizing on it.
You gotta look at sometimes the business as well. For example, I will use AEW as an example. I'm not the hugest Will Ospreay guy. Does a guy go out there and put out good matches? Yeah, but to me, I don't see it. I'm like, yeah, he's fine, but I understand why AEW pushes him. He is someone more unique than most of the roster. This guy can go at a high level. I'm just personally not the hugest fan of the guy. I don't hate him. I'm just his match style is just, to me, it's just okay, it's fine. It does its job. The fans that love that style, great. I'm glad you love that style. I won't take that away from you. For me personally, I'm not the hugest fan of the guy, but I understand pushing him. He's international. He has a good look. He can put on great performances.
Crazy moveset.
Crazy moveset. And it's just one of those scenes where it's he has the best potential to maybe draw eyeballs to the product. And that's on the booker to use what he has as a performer to get people to draw eyeballs to the product. But I won't hate on anyone if Will Ospreay is their favorite. That's fine. They can like Will Ospreay. Doesn't bug me one bit. It's just more of that guy's not my cup of tea, but I see it. But I see why you would push him. I'm not saying if you push Will Ospreay, no, your company's gonna be fine with Will Ospreay as one of your top guys. It's not the end of the world. Will I be watching as often? No, but I'm just one of a million people on this planet that watch pro wrestling. So Tony Khan's not losing any sleep if I don't choose to watch Will Ospreay wrestle. Look, guy's good. I'm not saying he's not. His matches just tend to get the same formula, repetitive. Yeah, it's puts on great matches. Yes. Won't deny that. One of his matches was top 5 for me last year on my match of the year list. It's just I didn't rank it as high as most people. Danielson and Ospreay I had at 5. People will call that crazy, but for me, I'm I prefer Swerve and Danielson a little bit more than that match. Yeah. That's just me. That's just my taste. But yeah.
You're totally right. You have every right to feel that way, Jace. Alan right there. My only problem with Jey is the same thing everyone else is going back to Roman, without Roman saying he was sorry for the way he treated everyone. But that isn't a booking mistake. I still hope Jey wins. Chief writes here, Cena wasn't the greatest wrestler in the ring, but he carried the company for years on his back. Also factor in, Cena never politicked.
Okay,
Cena never,
we're not
never,
doing that.
and I don't
We're
know,
not doing.
but again, he was again a
We're
good
no.
representation for the company. Representation for the company.
Yeah, no. He was a good representation. But he definitely backstage politics. There's no world where John Cena did not back. Bro, these wrestlers are protective over their spots still to this day. Like you know which ones are the best because they always make sure they're in the right positions, get the best feuds. Like they're still backstage politicking. Like let's not pretend John fucking Cena didn't backstage politic. Make sure that anyone that had a chance to get over, he made sure that it was like, oh man, that guy. Let's have him feud with this guy that will kill all his momentum. I'm not here to play that game. Like I respect Cena as a for what he did, but I'm not going to play the game that Cena did not backstage
Yeah,
politic. Like, come on.
fair enough. Um, let's get into this. Let's get into the rest of the review here. So then after this, we saw the tag team match between Damage Control and that being Dakota Kai and Io Sky versus the Judgment Day of Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan. If you recall last week, Io Sky was going at it one-on-one with Liv Morgan, and obviously Rhea Ripley got involved, and as a result, Io Sky is not in the chamber match, but Liv Morgan is, which is cool, right? So this tag team match, I will say, was probably the match of the night.
Oh yeah.
The match of the night, without a shadow. And again, me saying this, and it's a women's match, something is off here with Steve. You know what I mean? But for the most part, everything about this, just the near falls. There was a spot where Raquel Rodriguez used Liv as a battering ram, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's what caused Liv to bleed on the side of her head. And she kept going like a champ. She just kept going. Um, and when it was all said and done, uh, Io Sky hit the moonsault off the top rope to pin Liv Morgan. So obviously, Damage Control get the win, and yeah, even Dakota Kai had a good showing in this match as well, and that stuff. But overall, this was the match of the night. Case, your thoughts?
Yeah, it was absolutely tremendous. I like what all four ladies did here. Um, number one contenders getting pinned, that kind of bugged me, but obviously they were trying to set up Io versus Rhea. So I was just kind of give and take on that. I was just like, that's fine. But yeah, these four women absolutely killed it. Io looks like $1,000,000, probably one of the better in-ring workers that they have in the women's division. And especially with the women's tag team division just being so stale, it's kind of nice that they're trying to give the women more time and showing the value of why you have this women's tag team division. So I really like this match. I was shocked of how long it went, and then I was shocked at just the action
Yeah,
I was seeing. It was actually really, really good by all four women.
it went about almost 15 minutes, 14 minutes and 57 seconds. That's how long it went. Read some comments here as well. Amazing match by those girls, by Chief and Safari. The women's tag match was a banger. Absolutely. From there, we go on to the next match. We did have Bailey versus the women's Intercontinental Champion and Lyra Valkyria. And again, this was a qualifying match. Chase, what were your thoughts on this match between Lyra and Bailey?
I thought it was a good match between these two women. Bailey did her thing with Lyra. Lyra, she's good in the ring, but it was just pretty obvious Bailey was going to win. Like there was not even like a sliver of me thinking, "Ooh, will Roxanne cost Bailey?" Like, no, you want this chamber to be like with actual stars, and where it's like any one of these women can win and go to WrestleMania. If Lyra Valkyria is in that chamber, I'm like, yeah, she probably being eliminated first. So it was good. Yeah, you know, poor Lyra, this girl, it's just like she's IC champ or
She
what? Like
she can't
I'm
catch a
o-
break.
yeah, I'm okay with like the mid card champion losing to a main event star. Like that's fine to me. That doesn't bug me that Bailey got the win. It's just more of like how Lyra's been treated this whole time, where it's just you're like you're waiting for something, but I don't know what that something is, but you haven't done anything with her as IC champion. And the one strength that Lyra has is wrestling. And it's just like they refuse to like have her wrestle or defend that title. And they're trying to get stories behind it. But I think Lyra, especially if you don't have anything in mind for her, like you're just like, yeah, we don't got anything. just have her do open challenges. There's a bunch of women that you have on the roster that can eat a pin. Like, it's not like, oh, we can't have this woman lose and stuff. Like, no, it's okay and stuff. And then maybe you could also build up to the Ivy Nile, where Ivy Nile answers one of these open challenges, but Lyra barely beats her, or Ivy makes a mistake in the match, and that's why Lyra is so good. She can capitalize off mistakes and win. And Ivy Nile, she's so obsessed with this. She goes, "You barely beat me. I literally could have won that match. I was just one mistake away." And then that's how you can do their feud, and then maybe lead to a best 2 out of 3 falls, or lead to maybe a best of 7 series. That tends to work out when you don't know what to do with said wrestlers. You just put them in a best of 5, best of 7, and you tend to get good. You tend to get good matches out of it. But yeah, Lyra is just like, she's not bad. Like, she's fine for what she is. It's just like, you got to start something with her, because like, I get it that maybe they're waiting for Becky Lynch to sign the dotted line, and Becky and her at WrestleMania is like the idea, and that maybe that will help her elevate her. But it's just like right now, she does not feel like she has earned the right to face one of the more over and one of the most drawing power acts in the WWE, and Becky Lynch. Like Chelsea Green deserves that more than Lyra Valkyria. And I'm not saying that because Chelsea's my favorite women's wrestler. I'm just saying Chelsea Green has done a lot more with a lot less on SmackDown compared to Lyra Valkyria, who was pretty much like yeah, they built her up as one of the favorites to win this IC title. But she's won, and then she's like, I'm going to enter the Rumble. Okay, but you haven't even defended your title yet, and you haven't even proven that you're this dominant champion. So now you're entering the Rumble for another title that I don't think you have any right to win.
Yeah.
And then you're in the Elimination Chamber qualifying match against one of the top women's stars. And it's not like entering in this, it's like, Lyra Valkyria has been on fire. 3 successful title defenses, the most successful title defenses in the last 3 weeks, in the last 5 years, in a short time span, Like, make up some stat with that. And instead, it's like she's going in very ice cold against Bayley, who's a bigger star. And if you don't watch wrestling and like at least the name of Bayley, and you come in and watch this match, you're going to go with the woman that's a former multi-time world champion in the women's division, and is going to be in the NBA Celebrity All-Star Game over the Intercontinental Champion that hasn't done much with the title.
Yeah, it's like, it feels like, yeah, look, we're going to showcase this new title, but now that we have it out there, someone's holding it, we don't know what to do with it, right? And you mentioned earlier with Chelsea, what helps Chelsea too is that she can stand out. She can stand out with the crowd and be, and talk with the crowd and get a reaction easily. Lyra just doesn't do that, unfortunately. Romeo writes here, how great is Bayley? Never a doubt going to the chamber. Carried Lyra to a decent match. Now watch her Friday light up these celebrities in the Celebrity All-Star Game. I love Bayley.
Bayley could probably enter the chamber as NXT champ.
That too. And also factor in, she has a match on Saturday. Triple threat. So you want to give Bayley the momentum going in to her NXT championship match against Julia and Roxanne Perez, who was also at ringside, by the way. And she has a match coming up, I believe, next week. She has a match against Raquel Rodriguez to qualify for the Elimination Chamber. That's something to keep an eye on for next week. After this, we saw AJ Styles coming out there. He cuts a promo on how difficult it was to return from his injury, right? And then out of nowhere, out came Dominic Mysterio to interrupt AJ. And obviously, Dom is getting all these boos, right? He can't even speak. Carlito referred to him in Spanish as the future of the business, that being Dominic, right? Still got major boos, right? He could not even speak. It's crazy to think after, it's been so long and he still is getting this treatment. And that just shows you how good of a heel he is, right? And all this led to basically AJ referring to Dom as Ray's punk-ass kid, and they're going to have a match next week. They're going to have a one-on-one match next week. AJ and Dominic Mysterio For the most part. And after there was like a little brawl, obviously Carlito got involved, but AJ was all said and done, did the thing, and there was that. Chase, your thoughts on the AJ segment with
It was
Dominic Mysterio?
it was fine. Like, AJ Styles, like, not the best mic guy. Like, like I felt his retort to Dom and Carlito was probably the weakest part of the promo. He's like, "You're right. Raw has changed." And then it was just like he went after the skinny jeans. That felt like a Vince line. I was like, man, that's such a Vince line. Like, you got a guy in purple skinny jeans. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Corlito. Freaking mispronouncing
Corlito.
it. Yeah, Corlito. Did not call him Carlito. Corlito. And then later on, he just ended it with, "And you'll always be Rey Mysterio's punk ass kid." I was like, that's wasn't the best insults, but AJ Styles,
Showed
like,
his age. He showed his
yeah,
age.
AJ Styles, he still has the look, he has the physique. He obviously, I saw in the Rumble enough where I'm like, yeah, this guy ain't washed. Like, he looked really great in the short time that he was in the Rumble. And to me, it's like facing Dominic Mysterio. That's fine. Like, Dom is not a bad worker. It will make AJ look good. Dom plays his role very, very well when he needs to play it. So I am totally fine with them doing AJ Styles and Dominic Mysterio for this one off. It's just the promo didn't really like accomplish too much for me. Like, it was just more of like, I wish AJ Styles would have been like, "Well, I could sit here and I could tell you all the reasons I don't like you, but I ain't that type of guy right now." And then he just socks Dominic Mysterio. I thought that would have been a better reaction than AJ Styles trying to be a cool dad telling funny jokes.
Of course. But yeah, they are having a match next week. And like you said, overall it should be a fun match. Again, Dominic plays his role to a T. So I look forward to seeing that match next week. After this, we did get Jackie Redmond, who looked lovely, by the way, interviewing Seth Rollins. And obviously he's hyping up the fact, about the men's chamber match, right? In fact, he does have a match next week against Finn Balor. They're going to go at it again. If you've seen their previous matches, they're about to deliver. No doubt about it. To see who qualifies for the chamber. And then Balor came out and basically got in Rollins' face and mentioned the fact that, hey, at the end of the day, you're basically, you're letting all this get to you. The fact that you didn't win the Rumble, it's going to cost. The fact that all this is getting to your head now is going to cost you. Again, it sounded convincing for the most part. Like I said before, should be a fun match, but obviously Seth Rollins is going to go over next week.
Yeah, like good delivery, good lines, but it's going to be followed on deaf ears. Like, that's where it's like, it'd be interesting. What if Rollins doesn't make the chamber? Like, that sounds more interesting than Seth making the chamber. And then Seth has to try to find an ulterior way, or maybe he pulls an edge and something. Like, that's where it's like you need to add more layers to the Seth character. Like, this is where it's like, okay, well, Roman's not showing up, and they're not going to give us Roman versus Seth at Elimination Chamber. Like, they're keeping Roman Reigns obviously on the shelf until after Chamber. So that's where it's like, yeah, these are words on deaf ears, where it's just like, I like what Finn said. I liked the idea that Finn's trying to put in Seth's head. It's just not going to work, and it's just not going to happen because Seth's a bigger star. Seth's going to be in the chamber. They want this chamber to feel like, oh my God, all these guys, you name the names that are in the chamber. I'm sure all of them, it's going to be tied in unless Jacob Fatu makes the chamber. All of these guys, Logan Paul's in it, but most of these guys are former world champions and stuff. So I get it when it comes to what they're trying to build as a match, but it's like Finn wouldn't be bad in the match, especially with Finn trying to, be the new leader of the Judgment Day. It would help his case, especially with him getting on everyone else's case with the Judgment Day. But instead, the Judgment Day, they're just going to be losers and they're mad at each other all the time, every single week. It's like, yeah, not good. But yeah, Seth and Finn will have a good match. It's not the match won't be good. It's just more, do we need to see them really wrestle for 10 minutes just to know the result? Like, I would love a shocking result here, but
me too.
It ain't happening.
In a different time, I feel like it would, but just the way they're like you said earlier too, they want to stack this chamber match, right? It's a star power. And I'm not saying that Finn Balor isn't a star. Like, people know who he is, but Seth Rollins on the marquee when it's all said and done. We need another John Cena versus AJ Styles match before Cena's retirement tour comes to an end. We probably will get it for sure. I'm sure he'll run it back with a bunch of folks, Kevin Owens down the road, obviously, AJ Styles. So we'll see if, AJ can once again beat up John Cena, so we'll see if that comes to fruition for the most part. We did also get, one second here. Okay, good. Okay, we did get the World Tag Team title match between the War Raiders and American Made. This match went to a disqualification after the Creed brothers attacked the tag team champions, the War Raiders, with the tag titles. So, I mean, overall, look, man, just to get some momentum going for them, right? Just look what we can do to you guys. But just a throwaway tag team title match. They're really, to be honest, that you could have done this in a shorter time. Basically what I'm saying. Anything you want to add to this, Chase?
I mean, it was nice to see the Creeds actually, wrestle and do what that got them over in NXT. War Raiders are not a bad team, so I'm cool with them. But yeah, it was good. It's just the ending. It's like, bro, it just makes no sense. Like, why are you protecting the Creeds like this? Like, when you do a finish like this, it's because you're protecting them for either when they win or they lose a bigger match. And I'm just like, is anyone asking for a bigger match? Or are the Creeds winning at WrestleMania? Is that what we're going towards? Like, that was my issue. Was just that I just felt the booking was just kind of whatever, like the ending just makes no sense to me. So yeah,
I feel you on that. Yeah. Did I mention this earlier? Yeah. From there we see Rhea Ripley. She finds Io on her way out of the building, and she tells her, like we mentioned this earlier, that she will give Io Sky her world title match on the Raw episode after the Elimination Chamber. So if you're Io Sky, look, you don't gotta go through the qualification process to qualify for the Chamber no more. Let all those women wrestle, right? But you're gonna give first cracks at Rhea Ripley before whoever chooses Rhea Ripley for WrestleMania. So there's that. It should be a fun match, right? All you want, but some people want to see it at WrestleMania. I can see why, but it's like, it's not in the plans.
yeah,
It's just not in the plan.
Io is probably going to be used in like the tag team schmoz that they're going to use for the women tag team titles at WrestleMania this year. And really, to be honest, they just need, like, Rhea, she's not wrestling until like this title match. It's just weird it's not on Chamber. Like, it's just like Raw after Chamber. Yeah, it gives you something to watch the next episode, which is fine. I don't feel like every title match should be on like the PLEs. I'm not one of those people, but it's like Rhea's one of your bigger stars, so wouldn't you want her on the Chamber? I don't know. That was my concern with it. I'm like, Rhea's one of your bigger names, bigger stars. It's like,
yeah,
you should use her on the Chamber.
I agree with that too. I agree with that. At least have her even do an appearance, a segment, something. You know what I mean? Where she gets chosen by Charlotte Flair, or whatever the case may be. From there, we did see CM Punk. He came out to the ring, and he delivers a promo about participating in the Chamber. And he says how he's upset at John Cena for declaring for the match, right? But yet CM Punk and everyone else have to qualify. But it doesn't matter because he is going to kick John Cena's ass, right? And the same goes for everyone in the match. But then Logan Paul interrupts him. The same guy, my guy, Logan Paul, former U.S. champ. Some would argue the greatest U.S. champ of all time. Move over, Harley Race. Just saying. The prime guy himself.
Steve, you seem a little thirsty. You seem a little thirsty. Maybe you gotta take a sip of that prime.
Take a little sip of this prime.
You've been talking a lot. You gotta get that throat cleared up.
Strawberry banana. Not bad. Not bad at all. But the same guy who tossed CM Punk out of the Rumble. And then obviously they're just going back and forth. And then obviously Punk, threw his line there too. Right? Punk tells Logan that he needs to worry about Mysterio tonight. Right? And also factor in that Paul was the one who eliminated from the Rumble, like I just mentioned before. But obviously Punk, he told basically Paul that he got to worry about Mysterio. The same Rey Mysterio who lost to Logan Paul. So Logan Paul was going into this with the clear advantage in this match. Rey Mysterio, but again, there's pressure. You're facing a guy that took your title in Saudi Arabia. How are you going to avenge this loss, right? And again, the match for the most part, look, was it better than their match from Saudi Arabia? Not quite. Some people were saying that Logan was a little off. I mean, you could argue that, but no, I just feel like, honestly, it's on Rey, man. That was on Rey Mysterio, in my opinion, But when it was all said and done, look, man, Logan Paul had nothing to worry about. Not only did he hit that buckshot, Larry, better than some hangman out there, right? But he came out with this crazy new finishing move. That is just crazy. Look, I'm saying this right now. ATP Gaming, I want that move for my character. I need that move for my character. I'll come up with a random name for.
We don't know if it's going to be in the game.
Give it time. Give it time. Give it time. But obviously, Logan Paul is going to the Elimination Chamber. He's going. He qualifies. Sorry, Ray. It's not happening. Put the fries in the bag, bro. Washed. And that's how we end Monday Night Raw. Logan Paul on top, victorious, going to Chamber. So excited. Great ending. Great ending. Chase, your thoughts.
Oh, man, we forgot about the New Day attacking Rey Mysterio.
Oh, yeah. Well, here's the thing. We'll get to the end. And then, just like they treated it, right? They had the lower third on the bottom, right? The lower third. And then Kofi and Xavier attack Rey. And then I pressed the thanks for watching. Just how they treated it. Which was, timing for the most part. But, hey. I feel like it was more towards like .com. Like, I guess on their social media, they posted the video of obviously the New Day attacking Rey Mysterio after the match. It's crazy, bro. Yeah. See?
Weird way to end Raw, for sure. Punk's promo was good. Punk pretty much spoiled that Seth's winning his qualifier because he did not. He was all like Seth Rollins. He was bringing him up, and then it was like, oh yeah, he has to play Finn Balor still. Let me mention Finn Balor. Whoever wins that match, I'm going to kick their ass too. Punk also did a good job at making you think like, oh, maybe they don't do Cena versus Cody. Maybe they do Punk versus Cody instead at WrestleMania for the title. So they did a good job in that, getting people to kind of think that Punk maybe, like, obviously he is one of the favorites, but maybe Punk is the overall favorite to win the Elimination Chamber match. His interaction with Logan was fine. Logan's really good on the mic when it comes to, like, he doesn't let the crowd bother him. Like, this crowd is, like, vicious with him. And Dom, it's more like he's playing up the character, trying to get the reaction from the crowd. But most people, when they, like, there's times where people, like, hear the boos and they get all flustered, like, Charlotte Flair, like, she got flustered a little bit when the fans were booing her last week. Logan Paul, he just talks over them. He just gets louder. He's like, Cena, whoo, and he just keeps talking and talking. It's just like he just treats it as just like, hey, I have to say what I have to say. These people don't listen. That's on them. But I'm making sure my voice is heard, and I respect that of Logan Paul when it comes to it. Logan Paul, whatever you think of him outside the ring and stuff, but. Yeah, yes, he is a piece of shit, but that piece of shit sure can wrestle.
And he can make a drink, and he can make a beverage.
Yeah, he can make a good, healthy beverage for you. Right. But I think the match itself was a good Raw main event. Rey and Logan, they have good chemistry. It was good main event, and Logan Paul wins. That was obvious. Like, You're not gonna have this guy wrestle on Raw and then not go to the Chamber. Like, obviously, he's scheduled to be at Elimination Chamber. Like, it makes sense that he would win this match. So yeah, I thought it was a good main event. The ending with the New Day was really bizarre, and yeah, they posted it on the social media channels and stuff. But I was like, why even have that? Like, I would have just ended it with Logan Paul. Maybe give Logan Paul a bunch of pyro for no reason, acting like
Yeah.
he got to the main event of WrestleMania. I thought that would have been a more justifiable ending where Logan Paul's like, I paid for all that pyro, and he points at the WrestleMania sign like a goof. And everyone's just like, the fuck, dude, you just beat Rey Mysterio to get in the chamber. Stop acting like you're going to WrestleMania, and him
But
just
that's the
saying,
thing, though. But you
still
want that, though,
humble,
right?
still humble, still humble. And he's pointing at the sign. That would have been a lot better than like New Day coming out at the end and attacking. But Logan Paul just like getting a bunch of pyro, pointing at the WrestleMania sign, acting like he's going to WrestleMania, where it's like, bro, you just won a qualifying match. Like, why would we treat this like it's such a
But
big
wouldn't
deal?
you want that, though? Like, from your competitor that are going into the chamber, like, have that confidence, like, yeah, you see this? I'm gonna get through this chamber, and that's where I'm going to WrestleMania.
Yeah, no,
That-
I'm just saying it would have been more funnier if Logan Paul
for sure.
he acted like they acted like he won and he's going to the main event and he's already challenging for the title. And it's just like he's already an egomaniac. Just feed it to the ego more. Have it where Logan Paul paid the pyro guy to like give him the best pyro possible, and then have it where he points to the WrestleMania sign and acting like, and he's just saying, still humble. I'm the man. No one's better than me. And then it's just like, dude, you just beat Rey Mysterio to get inside the chamber. You haven't won the match yet and stuff. That would have built more to the Logan Paul character that they're trying to present. And that's what I felt would have been a lot better than Logan Paul walking up the ramp, doing what he did by doing the whole still humble, people were disrespecting me, da da da. Then the New Day coming out at the end just because New Day tweeted, "Oh, we're gonna attack Rey Mysterio." It's like, okay, like that does nothing for me. New Day and Rey Mysterio is not a main event level feud. It's not leading to a main event level match. It's a mid card feud that will lead to a mid card level match on either the Raw before Chamber or the Raw after Chamber. So why don't you take advantage of like what you have with Logan Paul and make it where he gets even more heat with a championship like celebration that makes absolutely no sense for him to do just because he beat Rey Mysterio to get inside the chamber.
Of course. But again, it missed opportunity for sure. But overall, man, look, Monday Night Raw as a whole, I'm gonna give it a passing grade. I'm gonna give it a B. I enjoyed the show for the most part. And again, the wrestling here was great. That women's tag team match, go back and watch it between Damage Control versus the Judgment Day of Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. And of course, go back and rewatch my guy, the Maverick, Logan Paul, defeating Rey Mysterio once again. Go back and rewatch that. And of course, if you want to see the reaction of Jey choosing Gunther, go right ahead. But I'm gonna give the show a B. Chase, what about you?
Yeah, I would say it's a 7 out of 10. I thought it was a very good in-ring episode of Raw. Storyline wise, it's funny. That's like normally Raw's good when they have like normally Raw, it'll get a 7 out of 10 because the promos were good, but the in-ring was crap. But it's like this episode was the reverse. The in-ring was good, but the promos weren't like good or anything meaningful to like look forward to for like the next episode. Like, yeah, they have a good match card next episode. So
Yeah, I didn't know Andrade. Yeah, well, the more you know. And Weston right here, would you guys say Jey Uso more over with the fans right now? I mean, people are still
like
eating.
with who? Like what? Who is he comparing to? Like he
Like,
he is the most over.
oh, it's all good, man. As long as you're here, bro, it's all good. You can always watch the playback. I'm gonna end the poll now as well. Thank you guys for voting. The results should come here in a bit here. 88 I asked you guys, did you enjoy the February 10th edition of Monday Night Raw? 88% of you voted yeah, 11% of you voted nah, and 0% voted I did not watch, which is progress because back in the day we would get the did not watch, but that's going to be it for us. But remember, guys, next week on Raw, you are getting Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor in a qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber. You are going to get AJ Styles versus Dominic Mysterio. And in the qualifying match for the women's chamber, it is Roxanne Perez versus Raquel Rodriguez. And in case you guys have been living under a rock and not aware by now, WrestleMania, Jey Uso versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. You guys can follow the Around the Point Network over on X at AT Point Network. If you have not checked out this past Monday's edition of Steve's Kitchen, go give that a watch. We talked about the releases, and we did a little preview of AEW Grand Slam, Collision Grand Slam that's happening following NBA All-Star Saturday night. I can't really specify a time because we don't know, but go give that a watch when you get a chance. Follow me on X at Heel Steven Chase. Let them know where can they check you out.
Yeah, you can follow me on X at Chase Oliver 68.
Should Charlotte still win at WrestleMania after getting mixed reaction from WWE fans? Time will tell.
I don't even think she's winning, to be honest. I think she's just there because they need someone to put on a good match with one of the champions.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, make sure you guys tune in tomorrow for as we go live once again for SAD, something about Dynamite, as we watch AEW Dynamite. And if you are a channel member, you get to join us as well live on the stream. All right. Just again, if you want to be a channel member, hit the join button that you see next to the subscribe button. But that's going to be it for us, guys. Thank you all for watching. Much love to all of you. Jey Uso made his choice, y'all. For myself, yeet. For Chase, yeet. For Jay, yeet. For the gang, yeet. Yeet. We are out of here. Peace out, everyone. See you tomorrow. Yeet. For SAD, something about Dynamite. That's happening right now.
Thanks for watching. Yeet.